Hi and welcome. Welcome back if you've been here before. I am not sure what this reading is about, but okay. I'm using the Akashic Tarot, and I've just had some cards that just popped out. So let's have a look and see what the message is. Firstly, I'm drawn to the fact that the colors on these cards are all the same, the yellow and the red, solar plexus energy and sacral and root chakra energy, and like all the cards in the deck are not the same. There's purple, there's green, I think there's blue, yep. But this orange and yellow is standing out. Sort of like a fiery energy, but also a happy, enthusiastic energy. But these are our lower chakras, and we are usually more tapped into, connected to, operating or functioning from our lower chakras. Our higher chakras are more spiritual, more energetic. I won't go into the chakras right now. Let's get to the message. But there's a reason why I needed to mention that. So I'm getting the feeling that the lower chakras right now, maybe because of certain circumstances or energies, we are needing to ground, possibly grounding in the light energy that we've been getting, but also possibly work through stuff in our lower chakras, blockages in our lower chakras, things related to survival, fear, self-worth, creative energy. If you're a woman, well, if you are a woman, stuff around your reproductive system, but either way, sacral energy for either a man or a woman, there can be blockages there. And it escapes me what I wanted to say about that. Yeah, feeling safe in your body, feeling safe in the world, personal power. Those are the themes that I'm getting. So firstly, we have the number 1 card, the Oracle of Delphi. And this card, the Oracle, is someone that receives higher guidance. Let's see what the book says. Okay, so this is the Pythia, or the priestess. And she receives perceptions from Apollo. And the priest, who's in the background there, interprets her pronouncements. So the oracle receives the, whether it's light frequency, downloads, information from the higher realms, and then the priest will interpret what she shares. Okay, so the book says, in this we see the 2 important keys in psychic experience: perception and interpretation. So there might be something around your literal psychic gifts coming online, and either the aspect of yourself that receives guidance, maybe seeing signs and synchronicities, or maybe your clear abilities are coming online. But then there's something around not just psychic abilities, but everything really. What we get in with our senses, whether that's our 5 senses of sight and smell, taste, hear, what we see here in our experience, how we perceive it, and how we interpret it. There's something around that. When you receive this card, you're in a time of great insight and psychic power. Even if you don't recognize it yet, it lies very close to your consciousness because you have used these gifts in so many past lives. You may get images or feelings without knowing how to interpret them. Take notes as you practice both your psychic perceptions and the interpretations. Just as they gave the Oracle of Delphi a profound awareness, your psychic perceptions and their interpretations give you a powerful insight and an akashic vision of the world. That's reminding me of earlier this morning. I pulled one oracle card for myself, and the card, it was from this deck as well, was the Akashic Library. And just by looking at the card, what I was getting is that we are all continuously in this lifetime and in every other lifetime, we are always adding to the Akashic Library. We are authors in the metaphorical sense, and we are always adding to the universal consciousness, awareness, wisdom, knowledge. And that same wisdom, knowledge, information is always available to us. And the card that I pulled for myself this morning, the Akashic Library, the message in the book was that pick up a book today, any book or one that you're called to, and you will get really helpful insights from that book. So at some point during the day, I remembered that yesterday I saw something that reminded me of the movie I Am Number 4, and then I decided, okay, I want to read it today. And then while I was reading, there were downloads, and I was making notes as I was reading that wanted to come through for some reason. But pay attention to the insights, those feelings, those epiphanies, those ideas that come to you right now. Your psychic abilities might be heightened. We are all becoming more sensitive and more aware, more psychic, and our very specific gifts are coming online for whatever purpose we have in this life. But we all have access to all the gifts. As we shed beliefs, as we work through karma, as we heal difficult emotions and purge things that no longer serve us in the physical and energetically, emotionally, and mentally. So, yeah, everything is feeling really intense for all of us right now because we are becoming more and more sensitive, and we are then having to adjust and acclimate and learn how to function in a new way all the time. Like if you suddenly are able to pick up on energies, it's I love superhero movies for this reason, that it's it sort of gives you an understanding. Like you have a new ability, now you have to learn how to function at your job if your clairaudience is now online and you can hear certain energies and frequencies. You're different. You need to learn how to now live with that new ability, and it's happening so much that we are constantly adjusting and therefore constantly feeling exhausted. We have the Seven of Roses, the journey, and that's the journey that we're on. Some of us are on self-love journeys, and you are having to learn to love yourself, reparent yourself, heal yourself. A spiritual awakening journey where you are learning about yourself, your higher self, your multi-dimensional self, about the universe, our world, things that we didn't know before. We have Uriel and the Sphinx. This is a number 21 card. I've been seeing 1221 a lot. This card is about At some point, the sands here were covering a lot of the Sphinx. And over time, the winds and the weather has blown away more and more sand for more and more of the Sphinx to be visible. And that's kind of what's happening with us internally. More and more of our authentic selves is showing as we shed these layers and layers of things that we have attached to, accumulated, taken on consciously or subconsciously. That is not innately us. That is not the highest and best version of who we are. We also have the Six of Roses, the War of Roses. This is like a stalemate, possibly in a relationship. This can be the relationship with yourself, your old self, your ego self, or someone else, some other sort of relationship where you try to figure things out, you try to work things out, but it's almost like a constant battle. No matter how you try to do it in, a civil manner, nobody's winning. And I think the card is about, at some point you have to stop and let go, get off the field, not fight anymore, walk away. It's about knowing when to walk away. Some things in life we have to fight for, and not necessarily in the physical. Energetically, fighting for something can mean persevering and sticking it out. Fighting for something can mean overcoming something within yourself or within the world. But we need to have the discernment as to when it is time to let go of something, when it is time to end the war, and when it is worth fighting for. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Architect, which is the One of Keys. This is like the energy of creating something new. Okay, let's get some more. Let's try and bring this reading together. We have the Two of Forces that just fell out. And the Three of Keys at the bottom, the chess game. So, my neurodivergent brain works in many directions. So I'm not deciding what to bring through on the message. So whatever the cards is telling me, that's what I share. And I don't know if it always makes sense. But sometimes just one or two things out of a reading will land with any one of us, and maybe the whole thing does, or nothing resonates in the time, and then later on it makes sense. So where I am, it's August, and the winds have been extremely strong for the last few days, but today the wind is gone. And what I was thinking yesterday was that when the wind is this strong, and this can be metaphorically for us as well, when we go through storms, when the winds of change is challenging us, as this tree, you're not a flimsy tree, you're a great tree at this point already. Regardless of how you feel, I mean, you have probably lived many lifetimes, or even in this life, you have accomplished many things. You have weathered, gone through, persevered through many things. So you are already a great tree. And when the winds of change are blowing in your life really intensely, not only are your roots strong enough to keep you grounded and stable, but the wind itself helps the tree to grow stronger. The weather itself, the animals around it, the environment that the tree is in, whether it feels testing for you or not, it is still beneficial to you in some way. The chess game. how we perceive. Okay, let's bring it together. I think this will be the last card that I pull, read. So we have the Oracle of Delphi, right? And for us to win at this chess game, in another video I said that life is set up, and the world is set up, all the systems that we have to adhere to, the rules, it's set up like a chess game. Like there's rules, specific boxes, specific roles for us all to fit in, right? And we can see that those rules are not, it doesn't allow all of us to win. And in actual fact, most of us are always losing, or it's really challenging. But it is a chess game, and it can be mastered. You can strategize, you can get better at it. And it's making me think of, what's the series? Queen Gambit Queen, something like that, where she becomes such an amazing chess player, but she uses not just logic and practice and practicality. She uses some sort of extrasensory ability to get an edge so that she gets good at it. I mean, she practices plays by envisioning, the possibilities, the probabilities, that kind of thing. So by tapping into our spiritual abilities, and you don't even have to be spiritual or religious. I mean, science and spirituality is basically the same thing in different languages, looking at it, through a different lens, but it's still the same thing. When we look past just knowing how to do your taxes and what the rules of the road is and da da da, and you tap into what energy is and how energy works and how it affects you, and learning about nutrition beyond what is told to us at school and, by the media. Not just, I mean, we were taught that the biggest, part of your diet should be carbs, and that's not necessarily the case for all of us, because all of us are different. But when we tap into higher consciousness or greater wisdom and knowledge, we can play this chess game so much better, and the guidance will be different for all of us. There's a lot of, healers and psychics and tarot readers and all sorts of people out there, preachers and pastors and prophets, but we all have access to information, and the universe, God, our guides are always trying to send us the information that we need. And the more we tap in and pay attention, the more better we can interpret our specific guidance for us, because where you are on the board is different to everyone else, and what position or role you're playing is different. So it's helpful, to be able to seek advice from others in different positions with different professional, understanding of different concepts, but being able to be your own oracle and your own guru. And it's not even that you are being the guru, it's universal energy being channeled through you. Helps us to navigate this game, helps us on this journey that we are on, the life journey in general. And it helps us to discern what things to walk away from, what things to continue and pursue against all odds, what things, are significant to our specific life path. And we do this by uncovering more of who we are, not just the external, not just what is this world, what is this universe, what's beyond, our galaxy, what things is hidden from us in our world, what information. We can uncover those things, but the more we uncover, why do I behave the way I behave, why do I believe what I believe, what experiences have I had that has shaped my personality, why can't I achieve the things that I want to achieve, why have I achieved the things that I can, why do I like these things and I dislike those things. When we uncover those things about ourselves, we can change bad behaviors and, improve relationships and achieve greater things. And then the storms of life, the winds of life doesn't affect us, and it doesn't feel as negative as it may feel when we don't understand why things are happening to us and how we can get past it. I'm going to end the reading there. I'm not sure how much of that made sense. I often have to go back and re-listen to it and then get the message for myself, because I don't always remember what I channel while I'm recording. But if this message was helpful, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps to keep us going, doing this type of thing. And I do hope that you will join me again in another reading.